The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Turner, I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier. Mike, a kind of roller coaster of a game against Virginia Union. You win 33-29. First half had a real weird feel to it, but the second half, a lot of two tight end sets, a lot of power running game, and Antonio Wimbush, Sharon Jackson, Toot Johnson kind of take over. Finished with more than 300 yards rushing, and Antonio Wimbush 3 touchdowns and more than 150 yards for the first time in his career. What about the job of your offense down the stretch to finish some drives?
Well, it was important, number one, for us to come here and win. We needed to win. Last week was a tough trip. That's no excuse. We played in a great venue. We played number one in the country. And, I'll still say should have won. Ain't no coulda to it. And so now, hey, what do you do after that? And you're coming up here and you're playing a football team that's very prestigious in the CIAA. And we knew that the new coach who came from St. Aug that they were going to be a strong program. I got some great athletes that they use very well, offensively and defensively. So I'm very proud of our kids for coming out, getting a good start today. And gosh, it was sort of like, I don't know, in Bizarro world, there's some in the first half. And we made some mistakes there that you thought, well, we're getting ready to do this, and then boom, we didn't. But thank goodness for the kind of kids we got. And I really mean that. The kind of kids we got on this program, and I guess they play hard, but they understand what it means to rally, what it means to be united. And it took us all today. It took every bit of that thing today to get it done right. But we made some mistakes now that will drive you right to the loony house. I mean, we lined up for the first PAT. We had a beautiful drive and take it and score. And we had a guy not on the field. He ran off the field. So there's some things, there's plenty to get cleaned up. But we've been on the road now for 2 weeks, and we finally get to go home and play at Carson-Newman, and we'll be excited about that next Saturday night.
You talk about some of those mistakes from the first half. Had the blocked PAT, had some of those remnants from the West Florida game of drive-killing penalties, a holding in the wrong spot, right. a mishandled exchange just at the worst possible time. Was there anything said at the half that changed that? Because you didn't have those in the second stanza.
No, we didn't. And I think it's like we're still trying to find the right combinations at running back. We're still trying to find the right combinations at receiver. And there's some growing pains going on right there, and that's okay. That things are going to happen, but we cannot make those kind of penalties, and we cannot lay the ball on the ground. There's no excuse for that. I hadn't looked at it yet, but I think it's better than it was last week. I hope it's better than that.
9 for 54.
No, it isn't better than it was last week. It
better yardage.
It's better yardage, but yes. But we grew up quite a bit in the second half. I think our kids rallied, and it's. You got a trip, you're 6 hours away, some things different. But we sort of played in like a zone in the first half, and we sort of come out of that in the second half. Thank goodness we did that.
Let's talk about your coaching decisions. You bring in a kid who hasn't touched the football yet, and Toot Johnson, you're down 3.
Right.
What went into your mind to go to that, and how about it paying off?
Well, because I know what kind of explosion Toot Johnson brings to the table. And, man, it was great to see him get in the game, not have a mental bust, and go be productive in what he did. So, hey, that's a growing up big-time step right there for him. And I'm telling you now, he'll be a force to be reckoned with at running back. When he gets it all down and he's totally freed up mentally to turn loose, he's going to be something.
Defensively, went against a pretty unique team. Don't know too many teams that can put 3 250-pound running backs in the backfield. You had that to deal with. And you had to deal with a 6'5" quarterback that was capable in an underneath passing game. Right. How do you grade the defense for what they did today?
Well, I think the defense did, and when they'll go back and look at it, and they'll look at each other, and you have days where you say, well, we got to tighten up and those kind of things. But there's also days, this is called football. This group helps, this group helps. The next week, this group and this group. But now, what I'm looking for out of the 2018 Carson-Newman Eagles is the day that it all three comes together at one time. And then we'll have some hallelujahs to throw up there.
Play Wingate next week. Yes. We've talked about it. Want to sell out. Want to set an attendance record. What needs to improve as you welcome in the defending league champs and a Bulldogs team that's beaten you two straight times?
Well, I think what has to improve is that you always got to be, when we're playing people now, the quality of Virginia Union, the quality of Wingate, the quality of West Florida. Okay, those are games that are back and forth kind of games. Yeah. Okay, and like in a poker match, whoever flinches loses. All right, and you got to go play people that you're playing for championships that you can't flinch. You got to be secure in what you're doing. And so we just need to keep growing up, keep coming along. But the sideline today, the kids being in it together, the kids being supportive of each other, and what a great crowd we had here. Well, what a great crowd of alums and those kind of things we had out here with us today.
Before we wrap up, let's focus one more time on Antonio Wimbush. 150 yards, that's a new career high, 3 touchdowns. What about the job of your junior tailback?
Well, there was times you wanted to take him out and get him out. And the next thing I know, he's back in there again, and he's breaking something here and breaking something there. And about the time I'm going to scream to get him out, he breaks something. I go, nah, just shut up. He's a special kid. Everybody knows that. And he has worked so hard to get back to compete. And I think some great things are in store for him this year.
Mike, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Adam, thank you very much. Appreciate y'all's help.
That's Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Turner.